Thank you, Paul. Well, good afternoon. My name is Martha Maddox. I'm so glad that each one of you are here today. I'm the Associate Dean for the Goodfriend School of Business, and welcome to our 9th annual Distinguished Entrepreneurship Award Luncheon today. And so we're so proud that you're a part of this event, and where we will recognize the entrepreneurial spirit and devotion of someone very special to Tennessee Wesleyan and also our Goodfriend School of Business. We look forward to enjoying this special day with each one of you, and a special thanks to Dr. Bob Goodfriend for sponsoring this event for us today. And at this time, I would ask that you please silence your phones, and Dr. Dan Gilbert, a professor at the Goodfriend School of Business, will come and give our invocation. Thank you.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, for our award recipient, Alan Carter, we are grateful and ask that your continued blessings be upon him and his family. Thank you for his many years of service and generosity to our university and to our students. We give you thanks, O Lord, for the many friends of the university who are present with us for this celebration. May your blessings be upon them as well. We receive the food and refreshments that you've provided with gladness and with grateful hearts. Bless our time together this hour on this most beautiful day, and may we leave here inspired to achieve even greater things and to continue the important work you have begun in all of us at Tennessee Wesleyan University. Amen.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Thank you, Paul. Good afternoon. It is absolutely spectacular to have a great crowd here today. For those of you all that I don't know, I'm Tyler Forrest, and I have the tremendous honor of serving this institution. I would also be remiss if I did not acknowledge this wonderful building that we're in, and Carl Collins is here with us. So Carl, thank you for all your generosity in making that happen. As you all know, we're here for the Distinguished Entrepreneurship Award Luncheon. And when I think about Tennessee Wesleyan and the Athens community, entrepreneurship is something that comes to mind. This campus has had a long history of not only being entrepreneurial itself, but also producing alums that are entrepreneurial. And the city of Athens has done the same throughout really the entire region over the past couple centuries or so. If you look at the history of this community, you see numerous entrepreneurs that were produced. And our honoree today is no exception to that. He has really added to that legacy and has built a great business and a great entrepreneurship leader, not only here in Athens, but throughout the region. So you'll hear more about him, so I won't spoil that, but I did want to acknowledge without a shadow of a doubt, our honoree today is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, champions of this institution, and we are very thankful for that. And if he were up here, he would probably say, you're talking about somebody else, right? So it's my honor also to recognize a number of dignitaries and special guests here today. We have several state and local dignitaries, including State Representative Mark Cochran, County Mayor John Gentry, Athens Mayor Bo Perkinson, as well as several other members of the council here. So thank you all for being here. We also have a number of our TWU Board of Trustees members, as well as our President's Cabinet, as well as several former DEA winners as well, including Dr. Goodfriend, Claire Tucker, Thunder Thornton, Hugh Queener, Carl Collins, Carol Abersold, Johnny Holden, and Shirley Woodcock as well. So thank you all for being here as well. Just a few other recognitions. The Goodfriend School of Business Business Advisory Council is here with us today, as are a number of faculty and staff members from the Goodfriend School, as well as a number of athletic coaches, which is something that our honoree has a real passion for, so we are thrilled they are here as well. I will say, though, most importantly of all that are here are the wonderful number of students and student athletes that we have with us. So a huge thank you for you all being here today. That's why we're here, and it's an honor to have you here. So I will close by welcoming Dr. Bobby Goodfriend to the microphone to introduce our honoree. Dr. Goodfriend is the chair of our Board of Trustees and also a great benefactor of this institution.
Good afternoon. And I'd like to also welcome all the faculty that's here and all the students. This is what it's all about. I'm just echoing what our president just said. It's all about you to make this great institution going, and we appreciate you taking time to being here today. The crowd is enormous, well deserved for our honoree. I can't think of anybody that's more deserving, more caring, and more giving than Alan Carter. Alan Carter is the owner of Athens Insurance, one of the largest individually owned insurance agencies in the Southeast. A McMinn County native, Alan was entrepreneurial from the start, purchasing Athens Insurance in 1999 and then taking his partner out 10 years later. Under his leadership, the company has exceptional growth with tradition of excellence in customer service. Alan is a graduate of the Baylor School. I just want to know something. I don't want to insult anybody, but why is it the Baylor School? Sort of like the Ohio State. Maybe one day I'll learn that. And he got his Bachelor of Science in Finance from the University of Tennessee in Knoxville. Both those football teams are both doing well this year, Baylor and UT. I always asked Dr. Tyler, how come we don't have a TWU football team? He just shakes his head at me.
Bobby, if you want one, we can have
Okay. You open up a gate and look what comes through, you know. Alan's dedication to education at all levels can be seen in his service to the Tennessee Wesleyan Board of Trustees, the University of Tennessee's President Council, the Advisory Council to UTK Chancellor Donde Plowman, and the Baylor School Board of Trustees. He continues to be an avid supporter of Tennessee Wesleyan and the Goodfriend School of Business, providing annual scholarships in honor of his mother, Valerie F. Carter Tibbs. And we, yeah. Most of you don't know it, but I've known Valerie probably longer than most of y'all have lived. And what a wonderful woman, and been a real force in Alan's life. And Valerie, we appreciate you being here. It means a lot, I know, not only to Alan, but to the university. Alan has spent his adult life serving the East Tennessee community on the boards of several nonprofit agencies, the Pat Summitt Foundation, the Tennessee Wildlife Federation, the Tennessee Historical Commission, the McMinn County Living Heritage Museum, and the Athens McMinn County Family YMCA. Also with Alan today is his lovely wife, Tara, and he's got 3 wonderful kids that for some reason he wouldn't let come today. But Tara, thank you for being here and joining Alan. But I'm going to close with a few comments about Alan Carter. This is what you can find out about Alan. What you can't find out is the hundreds, if not thousands of folks that Alan personally has saved in one way or another. There's not a time that I'm with Alan that he doesn't get a phone call about helping someone or some project. God truly put this angel, and I will tell you, you have been put here as an angel on earth to do so many special things. Thank goodness a lot of this has been here in Athens. Tennessee Wesleyan is truly blessed to have Alan around. He has done more for this university than anyone knows. It is my pleasure and honor to give you our honoree, Alan Carter. Thank you. Here's your, you can put it back in here. Just so they get a picture of it. Perfect.
I don't guess I have to say anything after that. That was, Bobby, thank you for the introduction. I am truly honored to receive this award, which when I look at everybody else that has won this, I think to myself, I don't deserve this. The people that deserve to get this award are the people that work with me in my office, the people that mentor me outside of my business, my friends, my family. That's who deserves to get this award. So I'm gonna lighten it up a little bit so I don't stutter all over you all. Is that all right? Dr. Gilbert prayed for me earlier, and I was thinking hopefully he prays for my speech up here. But thank you very much. A little bit about my story is I went to Baylor in Chattanooga. I lost my dad. I went to boarding school. Went to the University of Tennessee in Knoxville. My mother was a majorette there. My dad played tennis and went to law school. My grandmother went to Tennessee Wesleyan. My aunt went to Tennessee Wesleyan here, and Athens is my home. Tennessee Wesleyan is Athens and McMinn County. If we sat back and we thought about what McMinn County would be without Tennessee Wesleyan folks, there wouldn't be much here. This place is unbelievable. I'll circle back around to the community here. But I graduated from the University of Tennessee. I thought I wanted to be a stockbroker, okay, a money manager, hedge fund, something like that. And I started hanging out with some of my stockbroker buddies, and they were making trades all day. They were sitting at a computer making trades. They weren't actually learning how people run businesses. And I thought, I don't want to be behind a desk. I want to be out seeing how businesses run. I want to see how people make money. Okay? So I had this really militant professor who didn't like me much in Knoxville. I didn't go to his class as much as I should have. Sorry, Mom. But when I would see him, he taught an insurance class. His name was Dr. Black, Harold Black. And he said, you know what, Alan, you're just sorry. He said, you know everybody in this building. You don't halfway come to class. You still make pretty good grades. You don't work that hard in class. He said, you need to be in the insurance business. And I said, well, really, Dr. Black, why is that? He said, well, you like everybody. Everybody halfway likes you, and all you got to do is make friends, negotiate deals, and take care of people. So I graduated, did 4.5 years. You know, everybody in Knoxville has to get an extra football season. So after I graduated, I was kind of looking around, and I ran into a good friend from Athens who was working at Mass Mutual, and he said, "Come by and see us." And I said, "Okay, that'll be fine, whatever." I went by there, and he said, "This is great. You don't have a boss. Nobody tells you what to do, and you get paid on what you sell." And I said, "That's great." I said, "Talk about that no boss thing." He said, "Man, it's great. You don't have a boss, but we don't pay you anything either. You actually have to do something." So I went to work there and had a pretty successful run for about a year and a half. And then I had a fraternity brother that was working for the Plateau Group who owned Athens Insurance. And he said, "You need to go by there and see some of those folks. We want you to go to work at Athens Insurance." Marie McDonald could come up here and tell this story now. She's been at Athens Insurance for 54 years. She started at 16 years old. She's the president of the agency. She runs the place. I work for her. But I went by Athens Insurance and I said, "Hey, this is the deal." I said, "I'll come to work here, but don't tell me what time to be here. Don't tell me what time to leave. Don't give me a whole lot of rules. The numbers won't lie. I will sell enough insurance for everybody." I told Dick Williams that. He offered me, I want the young people to understand this. I went to work for $18,000 at Athens Insurance. I told him I didn't want it and to pay me more commission on what I sold, and he made me take it. So a year and a half later with a partner, we bought Athens Insurance. Now, I don't know that I'm a huge entrepreneur. What I do know that I am is that when you're broke and you have nothing except the bank looking at you, you figure out how to get after it. And when I went home in 1999, I thought, I have got to make this work. Okay? I thought that was the toughest part of my life. Okay? So, fast forward, folks, I had some tough times in my life. Okay? Bobby alluded a little bit of that earlier, but I used to drink too much. And long about 2005, I crashed. And I couldn't do it anymore. And looking back on it, it was the greatest thing I ever did. I quit drinking, started going to a 12-step program. My life totally changed. In 2009, Bobby talks about the phone ring, and the phone does ring. And every time the phone rings, somebody saves my life too. This isn't about me. This is about something greater. And 2009, I quit drinking in 2005. I bought my business partner out in 2009. And not me, but I left the bank that day, 2014, and I walked out in the parking lot and I felt like I was floating. I went home and I told Tara, I said, "Baby, we finally got this deal done." And we had a dinner and a little party, and just us, everything was fine. But then, you're talking about broke, like we had nothing. 2009 was a depression, people. That was not a recession. We're in the insurance business that we write, Jason, Heath, and I write a lot of contractors, okay? The economy was imploding. It was a very difficult time, okay? All you heard in our office was keyboards. All you heard was people asking people for business. Entrepreneurs have innovation, they have drive, we're not gonna lose, we're gonna win everywhere. And that's what we have. And that's what we have today. We have an aggressiveness and a knowledge and a power that is truly amazing. So, since 2009, we have quadrupled in size. We have some of the fastest technology ever. And life is really, really good. Life is really tough. Anybody that says life is easy, there's nothing easy. Life is a struggle. We have to give it away to keep it. We have to keep the fire burning. Anybody that you see that rests on their laurels is dying. You know, there's one thing about Tennessee Wesleyan. I'll back up a little bit. I was looking when I came back here. I was looking at things to get involved in. Okay. And I was looking at McMinn County, and I was thinking about where's the money in McMinn County. So students, if I ask you where the money is in McMinn County, everybody kind of looks at me because nobody really thinks about it this way. But Tennessee Wesleyan brings in $60 to $80 million of economic impact to our community every year. Okay? So I came over here, I met with some people, and I thought, no, it's not the right time for me. When Dr. Knowles came here, it was the right time. What has happened here in the past 10 to 12 years has been truly magnificent and entrepreneurial. So what did we do? At Tennessee Wesleyan, we made the students number one. I hope all you students out there think that. There's lots of things go on at this school that y'all never even know about, but it's all about you. This faculty is incredible, okay? So the school was entrepreneurial in building this building. What Carl Collins led to do in this building is totally transformational. So that's entrepreneurial. Everybody in this room is an entrepreneur. Even you students that haven't even started in a business yet, you are trying to better yourself. That makes you an entrepreneur. You work hard. I know who plays for Billy Berry now. Okay? That is not easy. I know who plays for Poncho. That is not easy. I know who plays for Luke up here, for Ray. For student athletes, it's just unbelievable. So, the harder you work, that makes you an entrepreneur. I'm not real smart, people. I don't have the greatest grades in the world. When I was in school, I'm not book smart, but I got some walking around sense. And I got my walking around sense for working my ass off. Excuse my language. Jeff and I talk about it all the time. There are opportunities that come knocking on people's door, but they don't pick any locks. Isn't that right, Sleepy? That guy right there's done, you want to talk about somebody who's done stuff for people. He's done more for anybody. He's the one who taught me how to do it, how to help other people. This is a great story. He signs me up for something. He says, guess what you're going to do? I said, what am I going to do, Sleep? We're out riding around town. This is great meetings, okay? He says, you're going to give away the perfect attendance bikes at all the city schools. I said, I never had perfect attendance in my life. I get up there and give the awards to all these kids all the time. My kids don't even have perfect attendance. So I just want to thank everybody for everything that you've done for me. I told Heath I wasn't going to bust this out, but I'm going to read a few things for these students that I want you all to understand, and this is what I live by. I want to thank Carter, too. Carter used to, I don't have a psychiatrist or a psychologist or anything like that. I've got Carter's couch, so that's where I used to go. And we've been through it, buddy. Students, there is no snooze button for a lion who wants breakfast. Everybody understand that? You don't hit the snooze button when you're starving. So you get out of bed and you go get it. You live on the edge or you're going to get your butt kicked. So we got to be on the edge all the time. We got to be aware of what's going on out there. Even if it's 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning when all the lights are out and you're by yourself and you're thinking, well, I'm thinking about what I need to be doing. You're either on our team or you're our opponent. Everybody understand that? That's an unhealthy competitive drive that I have that makes me a little bit crazy. Laugh, people, please, because I need to hear it. Tara will tell you every now and then, she's like, baby, it's time for you to go to an AA meeting. I don't go to AA for my drinking, I go for my thinking. Sleepy gave me this one. There's a person that falls and gets up is so much stronger than the one that never fell. So we got to try. As entrepreneurs, we got to try. Jim Clayton went broke twice. He's a billionaire, Bobby, right? He went broke twice before he made $1 billion. He totally revolutionized the mobile home industry. We've got to fall. It's how fast we get up. There are two types of people in the world. Some that dream of success and some that work hard to achieve it. Thunder told me one time, we were talking about a deal, and he said, Alan, he said, you never get anywhere in life unless you live one step outside your comfort zone. And if there's not any more true words, Thunder, I've never heard them, because I live my life to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. If I can do that, then I'm getting better. I think about this all the time. I wake up in the morning, some of you all have heard me say this. Am I good? Am I very good? Am I great? Or am I the greatest? Now, never have I been the greatest. I can be good. I can be very good. Sometimes I can be great, but I'm always striving to be the greatest. Who's the best basketball player of all time? Michael Jordan. Anybody wants to argue Michael Jordan and LeBron James outside, we can do that. Michael Jordan is the most ultimate competitor that I have ever seen in my life. That guy would refuse to lose. Absolutely refuse to lose. Did everything he could to win. Where else did he do that besides in the games? In practice. Allen Iverson said practice. What's practice? And that's why Allen Iverson didn't win 6 NBA championships and NBA, the MVP in the league. He thought about nothing but his profession all the time. I've done deals. I've been in other deals besides the insurance business. Okay. Some of them have been successful. Some of them have been absolutely disastrous. Okay. But the fact of it is I pay attention to what I do and I work hard at it. If I do that, then I can be successful. If I surround myself with much smarter people, okay, than I am, then we have a chance to be successful. I would be remiss if I didn't mention one of the greatest human beings of all time that's not here with us today, that probably saved Tennessee Wesleyan University, is Larry Wallace. Okay? Larry Wallace sat in my office for 4 years, Debbie, Ashley, and that man mentored me and mentored us at the office, Jason, Heath, and took care of us. And Larry Wallace didn't make all the money in the world, but he served people. He was an entrepreneur and serving people and building relationships. That man is missed every single minute when he's not sitting in my office. I told Dr. Knowles one time, I said, Dr. Knowles, we need to hire. Jeff and I had talked about it. See, I'm getting to the point, you student athletes and students here, that this isn't about me. This is about people that I surround myself with. Bobby didn't get where he is. Thunder, Stanley Gallery here, Sleepy, Johnny Holden. We surround ourselves with really, really good people. Jeff and I were talking about Larry's on a Sunday night, and I called Dr. Knowles. I said, we need to hire Larry Wallace in the morning. I don't understand what we're waiting on here. Dr. Knowles and I had some pretty serious discussions. We weren't always kumbaya holding hands now. We got somewhere. So he said, well, we're getting there. We're doing this. We're doing that. I'll never forget, I was sitting there on my couch. I was looking at the TV, and I hung up, and I thought, what? We're not doing this anymore. And I had it in my mind. I said, we're going to hire Larry Wallace at Athens Insurance tonight, and then Tennessee Wesleyan can have him anytime that they want. Okay? So I called Larry, and I said, hey, Larry. I said, what are you doing in the morning? He said, I don't have any plans. I said, be at my office at 8:30. He said, okay. He comes down there, walks in the office. I called Dr. Knowles back. I said, you're not hiring him. I'm hiring him. He'll be at my office in the morning. And he walks in the door, and Larry says, what is my job description? And I said, Larry, you don't have a job description here. Heath, what's your job description? Jason, you got a job description? So now these two of the most successful insurance people that you will find in the country. I will put them up with anybody. Okay. He says, what's my job description? You don't have a job description. I said, you just come hang out. You be a part of our culture. Culture eats strategy for breakfast, people. Okay, if you've got a culture, it doesn't make any difference what your strategy is. If you have a strategy, you can have a strategy all day long. If you don't have culture, you can't make it happen. So, anyway, Larry, we gave him an office in there. He had it for about a year, and I was like, this doesn't work. I moved him out of his office into my office, and he has helped me tremendously. You know, I look around the room. I'll shut up here in a minute. I know y'all are tired of listening to me. You know, I always say this too. If God wanted y'all to hear something important, he'd have picked somebody else. But, you know, I look around the room here, and there are entrepreneurs in here that are everywhere, okay? My wife sitting here, Tara, I'm going to tell you, people, I used to think this, and don't take this the wrong way. I used to think, we didn't get married, what, I was 37? Yeah. Yeah, I waited almost too long, but I always thought if you get divorced, the guy makes the money, you know, and you know, why do you split 50-50? Well, I know now that she is the reason that I am where I am. Okay, she deserves most of the credit. I would not trade with her to raise those 3 kids the way she does. That is extremely difficult. I am very, very grateful. I want to talk about my mom right quick. 14 years old, sick. We walk in the hospital, and they tell us that my dad's not going to live 6 months. He died 4 days before 6 months. My mom let me go to boarding school. She paid for me full boat, did everything that she needed to do. To do that, she stayed out here in this house by herself. Okay? If that's not a sacrifice, I don't know what is. She has always put me number one. Always. And Mama, I'm grateful. My mom is a heck of an entrepreneur too. Now everybody follow me here. My mother has been, Wayne Tips is my stepfather. Okay, he was an oral surgeon in Chattanooga for 2,045 years. My mother's a wonderful entrepreneur. She was married to 2 of the greatest men of all time. Does everybody understand? So Dr. Tips, thank you for everything. I have not run a business deal by my mother and my stepfather that I have never done one without running them by them. The ones that they tell me to do have been amazingly successful. The ones that they have told me not to do aren't worth a damn. So I should always listen to your mama more. But anyway, got one more thing here, and then I'm out of here. This is about leadership. This is what entrepreneurs do. Leaders are disciplined, character, they have drive. A leader, if you cannot fire people, you're not a good leader. A vision of leadership, the best people, nice, relaxed people. If you upset culture, we have to take you out. Culture of enjoyment, success, play hard and have fun. Institutional standard of leadership. It's your job to lead. Everybody in the room needs to be a leader. This gets pretty good here. High sense of honor and integrity. Expectation of excellence. We're going to win, and we're going to win everywhere. Mental and emotional toughness. There are no excuses, and there are no whiners. Win the war with talent. Be untouchable. Make it shine. Define problems. A disciplined process. If you're not on our team, you're gone. Executive leadership, easy and nimble, separates us from bureaucracy. Go somewhere where somebody cares about me. That's one thing about Athens Insurance I want to talk about. If we rolled up and said, why is Athens Insurance successful? We serve people. We take care of people. We solve people's problems. Okay? We may have 2,000 claims in our office, but that person that calls in to put a claim in has one. We have to treat that person like one. That's what an entrepreneur does. They build their business through other people. In 2010, we had one of the worst disasters in American history. Came right up I-75. We had the hailstorm. It was over $10 billion. We had over 400, Marie, we had over 400 something claims that day. We had a meeting in our office. Everybody's working their butts off. And I said, folks, this is the greatest opportunity ever. They're looking at me like, man, this guy's crazy. They're like, what's the opportunity? The opportunity is if we take care of all of these people, the way that we should take care of these people, make sure the insurance companies do what they're supposed to do, then our business will go crazy. Pam knows about this. When you take care of somebody and you take care of them better than anybody else, they will tell everybody in the world about you. Baked in culture of leadership. Three-legged stool. Character and leadership make a difference in the world. If you don't love the game, you won't do it. My job, I don't feel like I have a job, folks. Student athletes, students here, if you feel like you go to work, get you another job. Okay? If I went to Athens Insurance, I want to make a good living, but I didn't go there for the money. I knew that if I took care of other people, that it would all take care of itself. I don't feel like I have a job. I feel like I have something to go do. Don't mind going toe-to-toe with anybody. Risk takers. What's in our DNA? Respect, honesty, spirituality, class. We've got to have some class. It's lonely at the top, competitive point of difference, school of consequences. What do we do to be better? Folks, last thing. Tyler Forrest is the right person for this job. He is an entrepreneur running Tennessee Wesleyan University. The Board of Trustees made the absolute perfect choice to hire Tyler Forrest. This guy right here is going to transform Tennessee Wesleyan University. When he transforms Tennessee Wesleyan University, we're going to transform our community. Sit back and watch, people. This place is going to change like you won't believe. He has the entrepreneurial spirit that we need at this school. So I appreciate you being here. Anybody that doesn't know him very, very, very well needs to. His wife, Emily, another thing, when we hired Tyler, I told Bobby, I said, this is great. If Tyler doesn't work out, we'll just hire his wife. She's fantastic. No. But anyway, I'm just really grateful for this award. I don't really deserve it. My picture up there on the wall is going to be below everybody else's. I hope. I would not be here if not for every one of you all getting behind us and pushing us like a bulldozer. People say, why are you halfway successful? And I say, I got people behind me pushing me. It isn't about me. And you know, every one of these folks in here, I see Bob Whaley back there, Randy Mullins, Bobby will say the same thing about them. Thunder will say the same thing about Dane Bradshaw. You know, we got to have, Jeff would sit there and talk about Mike Hutzel. He'd talk about his team at Athens Federal. Jeff Cunningham is an entrepreneur. He goes over there to Athens Federal, takes it public, and develops a business and creates more wealth for shareholders in 8 years. I mean, Min County is just unbelievable. You know, there's entrepreneurs everywhere, people. So, anybody else want me to talk about them? John Gentry, he sits over, he runs the county with no debt. We're the only county in the state, right? That's an entrepreneur running a public system. Mr. Hardaway sits back here. He's my 8th grade coach. Where did I learn my lessons to work that hard, Mr. Hardaway? I didn't learn it in math class, I'll tell you that. I learned it with Ronnie McMahon between the lines. And I played for Mr. Martin, and then I went to Austin Clark, who today they would probably put him in jail. Sleepy and my father taught me that at the YMCA when I was 4 and 5 years old. They taught me my discipline, my work ethic, everything between the lines. I do the same thing in my business. I'll shut up. Thank you for letting me be here.
Alan, thank you. As always, it's a joy to hear Alan speak, and he comes often to our classrooms, and it means a lot to us as faculty. It means a lot to our students, and we thank you. Always words of inspiration. And now we're going to unveil the wall display that will be in Elliott Hall for many years to come. This will conclude our luncheon. We're going to ask our students to stay, our previous award winners to stay for photos, and we wish you safe travels and thank you for your attendance.
Thank you.